Pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Zhengkong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Tupten Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of Homa today, Vajrasattva. Vajra hand, Vajra heart, Bodhisattvas. Sumo, Tanzen Ketso, Tutan Siddhi. All Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, and all disciples present here over the internet. Good afternoon. How do you do? First, I would like to announce for next Sunday, October 10th. What a coincidence. At 3 p.m. there will be Mariji Bodhisattva Homa fire offering ceremony. So she is the protector of True Buddha School and she's under contract. Mariji Bodhisattva. This deity was in front of the sun, the sunlight, swiftly moving in front of the sun, a great Bodhisattva that moves in front of the sun. And there is also Mariji Sutra. And by practicing this deity, she will protect and support the individual and the family, and all the relatives would be protected. So if you read the Mariji Sutra, you would know. We have two protectors at True Buddha School that are under contract. The first one is Mariji Bodhisattva. The second one is Mahabala. So these two deities are under contract with True Buddha School. So True Buddha School disciples they practice these two protectors who are under contract, but you can also practice the other ones. And if you gain spiritual union, that's like a vow. And these two deities are under vow with True Buddha School. So she moves very swiftly in front of the sun with a tremendous, boundless, majestic power. And the Japanese regards Mariji Bodhisattva as the god of battles, and she's the protector of ninjas. So each ninja, whether it's the A Jia or Yi, the bee, they all, before they take on the duties, they would always pray to Mariji. And the mudra, Mariji mudra, this is the mudra. That's also the mudra for ninja. And there is an invisible Dharma practice that belongs to Mariji. And the mudra is like this. The key point is you make a fist and it's closed off at the bottom but open at the top. And then you visualize yourself to enter into this, the vanity there, and then you cover it with your right hand. Then you would become invisible. So, do you see Grandmaster now? If you have attainments in your practice and you form this mudra and then you cover it, and then other people will not be able to see you. So that's how ninjas are. That kind of method is called mu si tun. So I think it's moving through woods and rocks. So if you become primary supplicant for this deity, then you would lose one protector. Only Mahabala left. Mahabala is left. So whether you want to become primary supplicant or not, it is up to you. And today, we perform Vajrasattva's Homa. Vajrasattva's Homa. The founder, the chief of Tantric Buddhism. When Nagarjuna opened the Iron Gate in South India, he went to meet Vajrasattva. He met Vajrasattva, and Vajrasattva transmitted mudras and mantras and the Dharmadhatu and Vajradhatu to Nagarjuna. So Vajradhatu mandala and the womb mandala. So Nagarjuna opened the Iron Gate in South India to meet and met Vajrasattva, and Vajrasattva transmitted to him the Vajradhatu and the Dharmadhatu to Nagarjuna. So Vajrasattva, Nagarjuna is the patriarch of Tantric Buddhism. The Chinese Tantric Buddhism was started by Nagarjuna, and he's the patriarch for 8 different schools, Tantric schools. So he was the one that founded the Chinese Tantric Buddhism. And we all know that Vajrasattva is the founder of Tantric Buddhism. So there are 2 brooms here, or sweepers, and I have said it, with one sweep afflictions are lessened, with the second sweep the bad lucks disappear, and the third sweep karma eradicated. Om Pecha Satto Hom. And you need to complete 100,000 recitations of Vajrasattva's mantra. And then you can sweep away your afflictions, bad lucks, and karma. So yidam and your blessings, your good fortunes will come. How come you don't win lottery? Because you have not eradicated your bad lucks. Because you still suffer from misfortunes. How can you win the lottery? So you should at least eradicate your bad lucks, your afflictions and karma. Then your great fortune will come. If you want to buy these brooms, you should find Dharma Sister Jennifer Zhou from TB Boye. TB Boye, True Buddha, Prajna, Treasury. tbboyeh.org. Now it looks like I'm selling brooms. So Vajrasattva is our founder, and his mantra is for purification. Two kinds. One is to purify our own self-nature and to purify everything. First you purify yourself, then everything else will be purified. And the great boundless purification of self and of everything. So Vajrasattva is the main deity for purification. Belongs, and everything belongs to it. He's Tantric Buddhism's founder. Extremely great. Let me share a joke. Someone told the military doctor that I have a severe short-sightedness and then I'm not qualified to join the military, right? And then the doctor said, don't worry, we will place you at the most front, at the frontier, then you would be able to see closely. The teacher told Xiaoming, okay, let's submit all your homeworks that I gave you yesterday. And Xiaoming said, but I'm, what's that called? I'm very clean. So what is that related to homework? So because I'm afraid of filth, so that's why I don't dare to touch the pen. So I don't dare to, so there's nothing on the homework paper. There's a joke like this. So he's late and like dragging in, and then his outfit were all in a mess. So why are you so late? And Xiaoming said, oh, I encountered a robbery. And the teacher was anxious and said, so what did they rob? And Xiaoming said, my homework, or my summer vacation homework. So Xiaoming is really incredible. Now we will do question and answer. Question from China, asked by Lianhua Suwen. Grandmaster, peace with you, homage to Grandmaster. Grandmaster once said that you can practice facing the rising sun, or to gaze at the moon or stars or electric lights, to practice the Dharma practice of accumulating light. So I did practice it and had a spiritual response right away. But then I encountered this writing, Tai Sang Gan Yin, which is spiritual responses of the Tai Sang that wrote that the meteor or shooting stars, neon lights, and there are 3 different kinds of lights, and also if you gazing a long time to the sun and moon, it's sinful. So therefore I don't dare to look at the sun anymore. So is that true, Grandmaster? Then why Tai Sang wrote that? So this is a tantric Dharma practice, and what's mentioned in the article called the spiritual responses of Tai Sang. So if you see a shooting star and you spit, or if you point to a rainbow using your fingers, or you use your finger to point to a sun, moon, and stars, or you use your eyes to gaze long at the sun and moon, those are sinful. So this person doesn't dare to practice anymore. So, but there is an exception. So don't take it wrongly. We are looking at the moon, the sun, and the stars. When we gaze at the sun, we don't gaze directly into the sun, but we look at the light rays underneath the sun, and then you visualize the sun enters your heart and stay there. So inside your heart there is the sun, and the same with the moon. You look at the moon, and then you absorb the moonlight into your heart, and you gaze at the stars or the sun or the moon. You're very respectful toward them. Then how can it be sinful? No, nothing. So those are different. 3 lights refer to the sun, moon, and stars. So you just gaze for a short time, and then you absorb the lights, the rays of lights. And then you visualize inside your heart there's the sunlight, moonlight, and starlights. These are for the 3 lights. So if you practice this way, there is spiritual response. So facing a rising sun, facing the moon or the stars or the lights, lamps, we practice the Dharma of accumulating light. So we don't spit at the shooting star, and we don't point to the rainbow or the moon. Our parents often warn us never to point to the sun. We are highly respectful toward the sun and the moon. Why do we need to respect them? Because without the sun and the moon, there will not be any light on earth. So they give us lights. So without sun, how can human beings live? So the generosity of the sun is tremendous. Without the sun, no beings can live. No human beings can live. And as we know, the moonlight comes from the sun. Of course, we also respect the sun, the moon. And as for the stars, some emit lights and some reflect lights. I studied survey, so we observe stars. So they are the first, second, or third levels of stars. The brightest ones, the level 1. And then what kind of sun. And then Greenwich time. And then we would record which star would pass your sky at what hour and minute. So we observe the stars at night. So the tool would look at the sky, would face the sky, and there are Mercury underneath. And the first line, second, third, fourth lines. And then you check the Greenwich time. And then you're looking at the chart of the star, you would know which star that is. So I have studied nighttime star observation, which is a surveyor. So we need to understand this. So therefore, I reply to Lianhua Suwen from mainland China. You don't need to gaze the sun for a very long time. You don't want to gaze for a long time, gaze at the moon for a long time. You just gaze for a short time and then visualize the lights inside your heart. And you visualize there amidst their rays of lights to you, to your heart. We don't offend them. Else, to the rising sun, you can join your palms with reference. You're very respectful toward him, toward the sun, and the sun will not blame you. And then you imprint the light on in your heart. I heard that the foxes practice this way. So, gaze at the moon, look at the moon, and absorb the moonlight. And after practicing for thousands of years, they become the fox spirit. Or Bai Qian is the name of the fox spirits in the TV series Eternal Love, I think. What was the name of the male character, Ye Hua? See, I'm accurate. So, but if you spit at the shooting star, and then you use your hand and in undermining the rainbow, or you use your hand to point to the three lights, or you glare to the sun or the moon, then of course wrong. But compassionately admiring them, that will be fine. Then there will not be it. So the lights of the sun, moon, and stars, three lights, and the shooting stars, those would be wrong because they give us lots of warmth. Without the sun, the moon, or the stars, that would be bad. And there are gods in these three lights of suns, the moon, and the stars. In Tantric Buddhism, we say that the stars symbolize Akasagarbha. The moon symbolizes the Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. The sun symbolizes Mariji Devi and the great sun Tathagata. So those are all symbols. Their pure lands are over there. So if you spit toward the stars, that means you're disrespectful toward Akasagarbha because his pure land is there. When Kobodaishi practicing inside the cave, Akasagarbha's Dharma practice to pray for hearing and holding. So the star came shot down and entered his mouth. That's a Kobodaishi from Japan, or Kukai. Of course, those things were sinful, but we can still practice the Dharma practice of accumulating lights. That's the answer to Lian Hua Suwen from mainland China. Do you know how many disciples we have in mainland China? Nobody knows? Grandmaster knows. How do I know? Because the police department has helped counting them for me. Of course, then I know. The second question, the public security, China counted. Oh, the second question is from Lian Hua Huijian from Hong Kong. What, do you know her? Lian Hua Huijian from Hong Kong asked, Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva vowed that he would not become a Buddha unless hells are empty. Why? What did he mean? Because attaining Buddhahood would be very powerful. Why didn't want to become a Buddha? So I'm very dumb. I am not able to memorize the mantras inside the sadhana or practice procedure. For example, the offering mantra, deliverance mantra, Uchinsha Vijaya mantra. I just cannot memorize even after practicing for a long time. Can I just chant True Buddha Sutra and 100-syllable mantra to instead? That's strange. She can memorize True Buddha Sutra and 100-syllable mantra, but not the offering mantra, deliverance mantra, and Uchinsha Vijaya mantra. That's interesting. 100-syllable mantra is not easy. But offering mantra, deliverance mantra, and Uchinsha Vijaya mantra is very easy. The offering mantra. That's what I chant. Deliverance mantra. That's it. Uchinsha Vijaya mantra. What I learned is very short, very simple. It's a secret mantra. That's it. So that you don't, I have to chant it fast so that you don't remember. Om Ahum. That's the secret mantra that I'm chanting. Strange. You can chant through Buddha Sutra and 100-syllable mantra, but you cannot chant offering mantra, deliverance mantra, and Ushnisha Vijaya mantra. Then I don't know what happens with your brain. I cannot see your brain. You should be able to. And you ask the first question, so attaining Buddhahood would give more power, right? Why didn't he want, Siddhikarma want not to become a Buddha? Siddhikarma Bodhisattva was willing to and vowed to stay in hell. That's why he has the greatest vow. That's why he's the chief of the savior of the netherworld. And his pure land is three-way pure land. And Siddhikarma Bodhisattva is Grandmaster Yida. And he already has bound infinite majestic power. So Siddhikarma Bodhisattva is above the 10th ground of Bodhisattvahood. But this is just his vow. In Buddhism, we primarily talk about how great his vow is. But his Dharma power and his power is the same as a Buddha. He's also referred as the Miao-jie Bodhisattva or marvelous realization Bodhisattva. And the highest Bodhisattva is equal realization, and the marvelous realization is higher than Teng-jie or equal realization. So Siddhikarma Bodhisattva is the same as the Buddha, but this Buddha is willing to be in the netherworld to salvage and deliver beings from the three lower realms or in the hell's realm. That's his great vow. So humans, asura, human, animals, hungry ghosts, and hells. In each of the 6 realms, they are Siddhikarma Bodhisattvas. And we refer to them as the 6 Siddhikarmas. So he generated the greatest vow. That's what it meant. So it's the vow. It's truly profound and tremendous. That's why he has tremendous power. So what use is attaining a Buddhahood? Sometimes we think, we ponder. Becoming a Buddha, you just sit there receiving offering from people, has nothing to do, very boring every day, right? It's better to be a bodhisattva. You don't have to attain Buddhahood. There are 2 kinds of nirvana. One is with nirvana without remains, and nirvana with remains. Sometimes a Buddha enters into nirvana without remains, a Buddha forever, just receiving offering, and you offer to him. Oh. But it's so boring every day, nothing to do. After eating, having fun, playing around. And Siddhikarma Bodhisattva or Bodhisattvas will do things with no motives or nothing. Later, I will talk about it in the Vajra Sutra. That's why I'm telling you, Siddhikarma Bodhisattva with the greatest vow, primarily, is at the beginning of his spiritual practice, he generated such a vow. but actually his power is the same as the Buddha's. That's why you act without holding on anything. So this is the tremendous, this wonderful vow that Siddhikapa Bodhisattva generated. Thank you to Lianhua Su Wen from China and Lianhua Huijian from Hong Kong. Through Zoom, I saw disciples from China, some from Shanghai, some from Anhui. I recognize them, the ones I recognize, and the little Guangdong, the little canton, a nickname, was on the Zoom. I called her the little Canton, little Shanghai, little Anhui. People with cell phones would know. It seems like a joke from China. A young man was very confused about life, went to see the Zen master for guidance. And the Zen master did not say anything, just give him what is it called? A maze. So, but wherever I go, like a labyrinth, I didn't get anything. But the Zen master said, "You're so dumb. That's a QR code for my WeChat. It looks like a maze or labyrinth." So he's even dumber than I am. My wife just gave birth and having a rest after birth. And so I give her a cup of coffee and she shyly said, "I cannot drink coffee now. Thanks for your kindness or your intention." And I said, "No, I didn't ask you to drink the coffee. I just want some milk." But that's true, after you give birth to a baby, that you would have some milk. I remember there's a joke like this. Someone went to the coffee shop in America, American joke. Someone went to the coffee shop to buy a cup of coffee, and he asked, "How come there's no milk?" So a lady said, "It's right here," and then drop it onto the cup. Milk tea. A businessman and a collector and a thief went to God, and God decided to fulfill their wishes. And the businessman said, "I want money, US dollars, British pounds." And the collector said, "I want the famous paintings, Picasso's, Van Gogh's." And the thief said, just give me their addresses. That's good enough. Okay, now we will expound on the Vajra Sutra. Now we will expound on the chapter 7, nothing gained, nothing spoken. Last night when I practiced, Golden Mother told me, what you talked about last night was quite confusing. Everybody did not understand. Only a few people understand. So you have to repeat it. And I said, even if I repeat it, they still don't understand. It was too vague. So why don't you use analogies? Sakyamuni Buddha loved to use analogies in his Dharma teaching. Yesterday I said, Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. So what does it mean? Tathagata attained Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. Does the Tathagata speak on the Dharma? And Subhuti replied, in my understanding of the meaning of the Buddha's teaching, there is no such Dharma called Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. That is correct. When you attain a bodhisattvahood, when you become a bodhisattva, you would not think that you are a bodhisattva. If you often think that you are a bodhisattva, then you get a hold. Then you hold something. When you attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi, you will not tell everybody all the time that you have attained Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. You will not do that. If you say that you have attained Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi, then you have not attained it. The one who has truly attained it will not say anything about it. A bodhisattva will never say that he or she is a bodhisattva. He or she is already a bodhisattva, but he or she will not say that he or she is a bodhisattva. We just use a he for simplicity. So what I meant, so the teachings of the Tathagata cannot be held and cannot be spoken. They are not Dharma and they are not non-Dharma. We know about non-Dharma, but we did not know about not non-Dharma. And I said that it seems like they are as if there is Dharma, but as if there is no Dharma. But Golden Mother said, too vague. So what is too vague? Golden Mother told me, this is logic. You need to remember. Not Dharma, non-Dharma, and not non-Dharma. Now I will explain clearly. If we study logic, we would know the white horse is a horse, right? A horse is a white horse, right? Wrong. White horse is a horse, but a horse is not a white horse. Now do you understand? That's the logic. So Golden Mother told me, you need to explain it with logic, then they will understand. What is not non-Dharma? Giving is Buddha Dharma, but Buddha Dharma is not acts of giving. Then that's correct. If Buddha Dharma is acts of giving, that's wrong. That's not non-dharma. Very similar to Buddha Dharma, but it is not Buddha Dharma. That's not Buddha Dharma. That's not non-dharma. Not non-dharma. So, to explain Buddha Dharma, it's too broad. When I was in Kaohsiung, Taiwan, the Benzi chapter, when I give Dharma teaching, I said, Tsuji is Buddha Dharma, but Buddha Dharma is not Tsuji, because there was someone from Tsuji foundation there, and he stood up and he said, Master, you were wrong. Tsuji is Buddha Dharma, and Buddha Dharma is Tsuji. And I told him, you go home, you go back and ask the Master Zheng Yan. She's my Dharma sister. The Master Zheng Yan is my Dharma sister. Really? I'm not lying. We are both students of Master Yin Xun. And she's older than I am. So I called her Dharma sister. Big Dharma sister. She called Master Ming Seng. It's like a Dharma uncle. And he lives just next door to me, just sharing the same wall. We have like a townhouse, twin, duplex. And I live in this side, and the next side was where Master Yin Xun lived there. And his attendant, Ming Seng, Master Ming Seng. So she referred to this Master Ming Seng as the Dharma uncle. And he's very close to me. We know each other quite closely. So remember this statement. Golden Mother told me, not non-dharma. In explaining that, say, charity is Buddha Dharma, but Buddha Dharma is not charity. Endurance is Buddha Dharma, but Buddha Dharma is not endurance. Because Buddha Dharma is too broad. Everything is Buddha Dharma. Whichever you point to is Buddha Dharma. However, if you say Buddha Dharma is endurance, that's wrong. So that's the explanation and the meaning of the not non-dharma. It is Buddha Dharma, but it is also not Buddha Dharma. So this is how I would explain it. Golden Mother taught me to explain it this way. This is logic. The white horse is a horse, but a horse is not a white horse. Why? Because they are white horse, black horse, brown horse, and all different color horse. And there's another kind of horse invented in Taiwan. It's actually a slang or play of word, which is to refer to a llama, but also sound like a curse word. You know, for the song artists that made that up. There's another entertainer in Taiwan that's called Ma Guo Bi. How come you don't get any other name except this one? And Golden Mother also told me there's one part that was also unclear. All sages are distinguished by motiveless dharma. How did you explain? Golden Mother told me Bodhisattva is a sage, right? All the beings in the whole four holy sage, all the beings in the four sagely realms, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Pratikas, Buddhas, and Arhats. Let's just take an example of a Bodhisattva. A Bodhisattva is a sage. And Bodhisattva practice motiveless dharma. You do things not for anything, not because of anything. Then that's right. So motiveless dharma means you do things not for anything. I just do it for the bodhicitta of a bodhisattva. So you generate bodhicitta and do it. That's a bodhisattva. So I generate bodhicitta and I do it. Not for anything, not for any particular motives or reasons or anything. But is there any differences? Yeah, there are many differences among bodhisattvas. The first ground of bodhisattva, which is the ground of joy, and the seventh ground of bodhisattvahood is called the far travel, and the 10th ground, the flower ornament. So from the first to the 10th, they are all different levels of bodhisattvas. So that's the differences. So the first ground, are you the second ground, or the third, or fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, or 10th ground of bodhisattvahood? So they are differentiated based on the motiveless dharma. So which ground of a bodhisattvahood are you? So Golden Mother told me to speak it clearly. So all sages are distinguished by motiveless dharma. So bodhisattvas have different levels. How about arhats or arahants? Arhats, there are 4 levels. Arhats is the highest. It's the arhats in samsara. Arhats with one returning arhats. So one more time before becoming an arhat. And non-returning arhat, he's residing at the non-returning heaven. And the sagely arhat. That's 4 levels. 4 kinds of arhats. So there are differences. Buddhas also have differences. The primordial Buddha on the 16th ground. 5 Dhyani Buddhas on the 13th ground. 1,000-eyed, 1,000-armed Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, which is the same as a Buddha, is the 11th ground. He has 11 faces, the highest one, Amitabha Buddha. And he is also referred as the 11th-face Avalokitesvara. That's a Buddha of the 11th ground. Therefore, all sages are distinguished by the motiveless dharma. Now, is this clear? So my exposition and explanation on the chapter 7, nothing gained, nothing spoken. Last night, Saturday night, what I expounded on Saturday night was not clear enough. So last night she told me to repeat it, to re-explain it again. Then you will understand and comprehend it. One day, the son of a rich man spat on the highway and was called down by a policeman. And he's very impatient and said, "Do you know who my father is?" And the female police officer said, "Sorry, I cannot help that. But maybe it's clearer if you ask your mom." He thought that his dad is very rich and famous and with status, so he asked, "Do you know who my dad is?" But the police officer instead said, "Ask your mom. She would know better." A couple give a birth to a son with a pig's face, and the wife said, "I am as beautiful as a goddess, and you're also handsome. How come our son is like this? Is that a demon or monster?" And the husband said, "Oh, this is inheritance because I am actually the precept pig that has gone through plastic surgery." So in this world, you need to see more clearly, open your eyes and see clearly. You have to see lots of things clearly in order to understand. So like what's a true Buddha's goal? It's just a group of spiritual cultivation. We have no ambitions toward anything at all. So see clearly what's reported on the media or newspapers are not necessarily true. The truest thing on earth is true Buddha's goal. Perhaps. That's all for today. Om Mani Padme Hum.